Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world, and welcome to this Wednesday. We have now got pack 2 of the Agora Models release to build the E-Type Jaguar. Now if you remember in the last stage, we actually started to build the engine, which was looking really good, looking just like this. And we had also been provided with the steering wheel, so that's all metal. And that looks just like that. We didn't do anything else from that, but today in pack 2, I believe we're going to be working on some of the doors. Now, this is an amazing model, so much so that I've already been in the car, the real car itself. And if you didn't see that video, I've put the link up here to my day at Jaguar Classic in Coventry. But if you want to get this for yourself, I've put the link down here to the Agora Models website. You can get this all the way from pack 1. Now, over there at the moment, let's see if I can do this today. You can get the Shelby Super Snake, the Shelby Cobra, the Terminator, the Bismarck, the Zero Fighter, the New York Fire Truck, the obviously the Jaguar E-Type, the Leopard Tank, and the Routemaster Bus. I think I did it. I think today I managed to do it. Anyway, look, without further ado, let's get cracking. So as you can see, pack 8, we're going to start one of the doors. This is lovely, absolutely lovely. It's all metal, looking like that, and looking like that from that side. I will put my part work upgrades mat down here because I don't want to scratch this gorgeous paintwork. Just like that, because the first thing we're going to do is just put the door handle on the vehicle. As you can see, it can only go in one way here, so we're going to place that in. Make sure that the locating lug is in as well. Just like that. Look, I've got fingerprints over it already. And we're going to hold that in from the other side with one of these AG04 screws. That goes into the top hole here. Make sure that's all the way in. And there you go. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Now lots and lots of small details in stage 9. So I'll get these all out. I'm keeping the mat here because I am going to need the door again, just to start off with. And the first thing I'm going to do, once again, taking the door, I'm going to be putting the hinge on. Now the hinge looks like this, but we want it to be facing this way round when we put this on. That's just going to fit in there like that. Now we do have this tab here that's going to go over the top, and that's going to hold all of that in. That goes this way round, over the top of this section here. Then we push that onto the 2 metal lugs that we've got here, and that will clip that clip into place. Now to hold it in, we need to put a screw through there, and that's an AM02 screw. So I've got that here. Make sure that's in nice and tight. And the reason for that is because we don't want no wobble with the door, and we want it to be quite springy when it opens like that. Now we're going to be starting to do the winding mechanism for the window of the car. And that means we take this cog here. It has got a lip on this side. We want the lip that's larger than the top one facing down. That's just going to go over this center spindle just like that. We're going to hold that in with an AM02 screw. Put that all the way down. Just make sure that still turns. Excellent, no problems at all. We're going to be taking the window frame, which is lovely in chrome, looking like that. Turn it over, and that's just going to go over these holes that we can see here. That will keep the frame in place like that. And all of those are going to be held in with AM03 screws. Now, these are silver. So we get these in. That's 1, 2. And 3, make sure that's in securely. So that's now looking like that. Beautiful. We've then got another gear to put in. That's just going to go over this shaft here, downwards. So it's going to look like that when it's in. That's going to be put in place with one of the AM03 screws again. So this is just one of the little silver ones. That will go through the top here. That will hold that in place. Again, not too tight. We want to be able to turn that. So I'll loosen that up a bit. There we go, that turns. Then we're going to be engaging this rack here along those gears. So making sure they're engaged in all of the teeth here on that side and this side. So that when it moves left and right, as you can see, the whole thing is turning there. Now when it's at this side, I want to make sure that this notch here is pointing in this direction. As a matter of fact, it's in the same sort of direction as the frame there. And that's going to be held in with the flanged AM04 screws. So one each side. Again, not too tough that is not going to turn. It's quite an ingenious way of doing the windows on this one. We haven't seen this before. There's the second one. I'm just going to make sure when I put it backwards and forwards, as you can see, they operate perfect there. Then we're going to take this lovely window here, get this out the plastic, and then that's going to go in here, once again engaging the gear that we've got on this side here. So that's going to sit in just like that. So we want it in the fully down position when this is all the way to the left there. Now to keep that in place, we have got a cover here to put over the top of it. That's going to go on this way here and just over the top like this. That will hold that completely in. We're going to put that in with two AM01 screws. So one in here and one just on this side here. Make this nice and tight, this one. And then I'm going to see if this works. And as you can see, it goes down and up. That's excellent. Love it. And that is all there is to do in that stage. I've taken the mat away because we're going to be working on the interior door trim now. All about the doors, this pack, by the look of it. And the first thing we want to do is we want to take the inner trim looking just like this. We've got some chrome parts here, and the first one I want is the door handle, which looks like that. It has got a little keyhole shape, so that's just going to go into here like that. It's going to be held in from the other side with an AG04 screw. Now before I put that in, I am actually just going to make sure that this screw has cut a channel into that handle, which I'm doing here, as you can see. It will save you time in the long run, because now you know that screw is going to go in perfect. When we actually put this into here, it'll be a lot easier to screw in, as you can see. Get that all the way in, and that should look like that. I'm bringing up the mat again because I'm going to be putting the door down. We're going to be putting an interior card just over this section here. That looks like that. That's just going to go over the top of this section, just lining up the lugs, and it will actually press now against the window mechanism. That will keep the window straight like that. Now that's going to be held in with 3 AM01 screws. So I've got one at the back there. I'm only putting that in lightly. One just on this side here. And finally just one down the bottom there. Once they're on, I'll screw them in tight. Now we're going to be taking the panel we just worked on with the door handle, and we're actually going to be lining this up with the tabs at the bottom first, and then we're going to clip this into place. So don't be afraid to push. But as you can see, that clipped in absolutely perfect. Now this is the window regulator handle. As you can see, it has got a keyhole shaped again. We're going to match that to what we've got in here, and this is a push-in. So it's going to be quite firm, but as you can see, it's going to enable us to put the window up and down. All good. All we got left to do then is put this door trim panels in, and they just push into these slots here. Make sure they're around the right way. So I've got one for the top here. That looks lovely, looking like that. And one just on the bottom here. And there we go. But that is all there is to do in that stage. So now this is a case of just repeating what we've just done. So just like last time, we're going to be putting the door handle just into the slot on the door here, lining everything up like that. And that's going to be held in on the other side with an AG04 screw. Put that into that top hole there. and make sure that's in nice and tight. And then that is all there is to do in that stage. Now once again, just like we did last time, I'm going to leave the mat up here while we just put the window mechanism and the hinge. So it's the hinge I'm going to be putting in first, again making sure it's this way round over this section here. I'm a dab hand at this now. Putting the cover on here, making sure that's pushed over the lugs, and then we're going to be putting a screw down the top, and that's an AM02 screw. Again, nice and tight, so you do have that sort of springiness in that hinge there. But that's in. We put the first gear in, making sure that the longer lip side's facing down. That's just going to go over the top. Once again, held in with an AM02 screw. Then we're going to be putting the frame in. That's just going to go over the 3 holes that we've got here, like that. And that is going to be held in with AM03 screws. I'm just seeing if I've got any of these open from the previous pack. They're the little silver ones here. There we go. That's that frame in. Once again, we're putting in the gear just over this side, this way round, and holding that in with an AM03 screw. Again, not too tight because we want that to be able to turn. Not too loose because we don't want the window falling down. That's perfect. Make sure this is pointed again so the open end is pointing in the same direction as that bit of the frame. So when we put the rack on at this far end here and engage it in, it should sit just like that. I'm going to be putting some screws in here, and they are just AM04 screws. So the last thing to do is take the window here, make sure this is in the fully up position, engage the gear here with this side, which looks good, and then we're going to be putting this top over just like last time. Whoops, a little bit fiddly, like that. So we can try it now just to make sure that's going to go up and down, which it does, as you can see, and that's held in with 2 AM01 screws. Now, something I've noticed that you need to make sure that this bottom one, this bottom rack, is actually put in the right way. I put mine in wrong, and that's why I was having problems going around. You've got bigger teeth and smaller teeth. You need to make sure the big teeth are on the big wheel there. It does tell you that, but you know me, I'm going to make mistakes so you don't have to. So if it's not going up and down smoothly, there's your problem. So there you go, and as you can see, that's going up and down a lot smoother now. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So another complete mirror of what we've just done. We're going to be putting the door handle in. So once again, we're going to take an AG04 screw. I'm just going to pre-screw this into the handle here, just to make sure that I've got a nice hole for this to go in. Excellent. And then this door handle here is just going to be put into the door trim here. It can only go in one way because it has got a shaped lug. Put this in here, and when that's in, that should look like that. I'm just going to bring over the door again because we're going to be putting this inner trim panel on. Again, lining up the 3 lugs inside, and they're going to be screwed in with the AM01 screws. I'll just put these in loose again, and then I'll tighten them all up completely and show you what that looks like. Then we're going to be putting the door trim card on, bottom first, and then just clip in the top. 1, 2. There we go, that's that panel in. We're going to be putting the window winder mechanism. So that's going to enable me to operate the windows there, as you can see. And then finally, we're just going to be putting the trim in on the door, just like last time. And 2, make sure that's all the way in. And that is another finished door, looking just like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Now in stage 14, we're going to be starting the seats. Let me show you these seats here. And all we've got to do is actually just rest the back into this section here. So it slots down, making sure that there's no trim in there. And it looks like that. And it is a padded material. Look, when you press it, It's quite an interesting material actually, this one. Not seen things made from that, but very interesting. But that's all there is to do in that stage. Which means the last stage here, as you can see, we're going to be finishing one of the seats, and they've also given us our first tyre, which looks like that. So all we're going to do for this is we're going to be taking the base of the seat and this lovely bit of sponge, putting that in there like that, taking the top section, or this will be the bottom section of the seat, that's just going to go inside this channel here, the same shape as what you've got there. Make sure that's pushed in, so it looks like that. And then this is going to go into this section here, like this. Make sure you put it the right way round. Did you hear that clip in then? And there we go. That is the first seat. I love that. I love the material. I can't stop. It's like a leather. It's really weird. But there you go. That looks just like that. So we do have a spare tyre, but what we've done, and we've done 2 doors as well, 1 and 2. That is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. That was quite an enjoyable pack really, wasn't it? Let me just show you one of the doors up close again. They look absolutely brilliant. We've got 2 of these and the door trims inside. I love that. And the seat and the wheel. Quite a large wheel. This looks larger than what I'm used to, but obviously it's rock hard. I'm not sure how we're putting the stuff in, but I do know that eventually we're going to have to put spokes into this, which I've heard is going to be a little bit fun. Anyway, if you want to get this for yourself, I'll put the link down here to the Agora Models website. You can get that all the way from pack 1. Other than that, I really do hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.